Long ago, in a distant land, there lived a young boy named Lucas. His father had died when he was still a baby, and his mother worked endlessly, day and night, just to put a little food on the table. Lucas went to school wearing worn-out clothes and shoes that were torn at the edges. Other children mocked him. They laughed at how he looked, said he smelled bad, and called him a beggar. Lucas stayed silent, lowering his head to hide his broken shoes. One scorching morning, on his way to school, Lucas noticed a boy sitting quietly by the roadside. The boy had no legs. He watched the other children run and play from a distance. Lucas stopped. The boy's eyes fell on his shoes, and he smiled gently. "Your shoes are beautiful," the boy said. Lucas stared at his ripped shoes, then at the boy's missing legs. His chest tightened. That small moment touched something deep inside him. That night, Lucas couldn't sleep. The boy's words kept replaying in his mind. For the first time, he felt grateful. He realized he had legs. He could walk. He could run. Maybe he wasn't as poor as he had always believed. The very next day, when his classmates teased him again, Lucas smiled and replied, "At least I can run. Some children can't." The laughter faded. The boys exchanged awkward glances, not knowing what to say. From then on, Lucas never felt embarrassed again. He began helping his mother more. He studied harder than ever. After school, he worked. He delivered newspapers. He polished shoes at the train station. He saved every coin with care. He never begged. Instead, he poured his heart into giving his best every single day. One evening, while shining a pair of shoes, a gentleman in a fine suit asked, "Why are you working so hard instead of playing like the others?" Lucas looked up and said, "Because I want to build a life where no one needs to put others down to feel strong." The man said nothing, but quietly slipped him a generous tip before walking away. Years rolled by. Lucas kept studying, working, and holding on to his dream. Whenever life dragged him down, he remembered the boy with no legs. That memory gave him strength and power. One summer, when the heat was fierce and the streets were empty, Lucas stood proudly outside a little shop he had opened. It wasn't just a flower shop, it was the very first branch of his lifestyle brand, Bloom Empire, which offered flowers, candles, books, gifts, and handmade crafts made by struggling families. He had used every coin he saved and borrowed a little more. People laughed again. "No one starts a business in this kind of weather," they said. But Lucas stood tall, sweat dripping from his face, hope shining in his eyes. At first, people came for flowers. Then they returned for the warmth of his words. Soon, everyone spoke about the boy who once polished shoes, but now sold inspiration. Years later, Bloom Empire expanded into cities across the land. Then came online sales, then international orders. Lucas traveled abroad, gave motivational talks, built schools, and helped street children create small businesses of their own. Today, Lucas is the CEO of a global company. His brand supports struggling families around the world. He wears suits now, boards, planes, and speaks on the grandest stages. But in his shining glass office, there sits one special treasure, his old, torn shoes. When visitors ask why he keeps them, Lucas smiles and replies, "These shoes remind me that success is not about where you begin, it's about what you choose to believe. Don't wait for perfect tools. Start with what you have. You may be poor, but you are not empty. You may be small, but you are not weak. Even under the burning sun, a flower can rise, and so can you." Success doesn't always begin with money. Sometimes it begins with a moment that awakens your soul. The world will only see the empire you built, but only you will know. It all started with broken shoes.